Oh yeah, man. That's Whitney Houston, man. The greatest love of all. One of the greatest songs ever written. That song put her on the map. But the funny thing is, earlier today, I was looking at Google and I ran across Gordon Lightfoot and I was listening to that song, man, and I started to notice.
It's facts, bruh. The greatest love of all has the same melody as Gordon Lightfoot's hit. If you could read my mind. Yep.
And I will never be set free.
I like to be educated, but I'm so frustrated.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Music Mindset channel. I haven't seen you in a minute. I got a lot to get to tonight, and this is some incredible stuff that I found out. Gordon Lightfoot, if you could read my mind. I know a lot of y'all know about that song right there, man. It's a song that's haunting and chilling and stuff like that. But when I was listening to it, I noticed that it sounded kind of like one of the songs that is also just as big, The Greatest Love of All. And we're going to get into that. It's going to be kind of deep there. So hang around to the end and I'll see you guys at the bottom. Now, before we get into the drama and lawsuit dodging surrounding one of the greatest songs ever written, we need to understand who Gordon Lightfoot was.
The air is still in the silence of my room.
To Canadians, Lightfoot was like a national treasure. Born November 17, 1938 in Orillia, Canada, he achieved worldwide success and helped define the singer-songwriting era of the 1970s. Bob Dylan once said he wished he could write like Gordon. His songs weren't just tunes, they were poetry set to music. Now imagine this. It's 1969, a lonely man sitting in a vacant Toronto house with his first marriage crumbling around him. The air is thick with unspoken words, with the ghosts of a love that once was. From that pain, from that quiet devastation, emerged a masterpiece. Lightfoot once said that the lyrics just came to him, a direct conduit from his heart to the page. This wasn't just a song, it was a diary ripped open. Listen to these lyrics.
I don't know where we went wrong, but the feeling's gone and I just can't get it back.
That's not just heartbreak. That's the sign of a man going through a divorce, staring at his reflection at 3 a.m. in the morning. But it wasn't just the heart-wrenching lyrics. The melody itself was pure gold. A gentle, flowing acoustic guitar, Lightfoot's distinctive baritone weaving through a haunting, unforgettable progression. It wasn't flashy, it was simply perfect. This wasn't just a song, it was a conversation with your own soul, and the world agreed. It shot to #1 in Canada, hit #5 on the Billboard Hot 100, sold over 1 million copies, and even prompted a re-release of his album with the song as the new title track. If You Could Read My Mind wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural touchstone. It became the greatest love of all. No, really, according to Gordon Lightfoot, his song became the song, The Greatest Love of All.
I believe the children are our future.
Fast forward a few years after Lightfoot's song was released, Muhammad Ali was the biggest star in the world, and Hollywood decided to make a biopic on him called The Greatest. So they needed the right song to set it off.
I decided long ago never to walk.
That's when they called on George Benson, who was already respected as a jazz guitarist and a smooth R&B singer. This fellow was tapped to perform this new ballad, written by composer Michael Masser and the late great lyricist Linda Creed. The song, The Greatest Love of All. It was a message of self-love, self-respect, and finding strength within. A truly inspiring anthem, and a substantial hit for Benson too.
Learning to love.
Now listen to that. Powerful, right? It was inspirational, uplifting, and tailor-made to match Ali's story. Benson recorded that in 1977, and it cracked the R&B top 40, but it wasn't a huge hit. People loved it, but it didn't take over the world. But that melody line and that rising, falling cadence had a suspicious familiarity.
You won't read that book again because the ending just too hard to take.
I know you see where this might be going. Very similar melodies. But here's the thing, Gordon Lightfoot didn't just start accusing Benson of stealing it. George's song at the time wasn't that big, so nobody's gonna make a fuss, at least not yet. Then came 1985. Clive Davis had a young singer he was grooming to be the next global superstar, Whitney Houston. She takes that very same song and transforms it into an absolute phenomenon.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them.
Her rendition became one of the biggest singles of all time, a global smash that solidified her as an undeniable superstar.
Give them a sense of pride.
This song absolutely exploded. It went to #1 on the Billboard, spent 14 weeks in the top 40, and became one of her signature songs. It was, for millions, the definitive version and truly an anthem for generations. Man, Whitney's version wasn't just a song, it was a life anthem. Karaoke bars still haven't recovered from using it. But guess who wasn't singing along? Gordon Lightfoot. Because to him, Whitney wasn't just belting out a hit, she was belting out his song.
And I will never be set free as long as I am a ghost.
I fail if I succeed. At least I live as I believe.
So in 1987, Gordon Lightfoot couldn't ignore it any longer. He filed a lawsuit against Michael Masser, the composer, accusing him of plagiarizing If You Could Read My Mind. Lightfoot was claiming that the 24-bar section of The Greatest Love of All was a direct and unmistakable lift from his song. 24 bars. That's not a coincidence, folks. That's a big chunk of a melody. Now note that Lightfoot wasn't going after Whitney Houston or George Benson. They were just the performers. He aimed straight at the writer, Masser, who had the most to lose. And here's where it gets messy. Masser actually admitted it in an interview that he might have subconsciously borrowed from Lightfoot's song. And you can imagine Lightfoot lawyers hearing that and just rubbing their hands together like, oh, thank you for telling on yourself for free. Lightfoot wasn't just seeking financial compensation, he was fighting for his artistic integrity. He mainly didn't want a present-day generation to find his song and think that he was the one who stole the melody from Benson or Houston. His biggest fear was being perceived as a plagiarist. But then, a truly remarkable twist happened as the legal battle dragged on. Lightfoot began to feel uncomfortable about the optics and the collateral damage that could come. His lawsuit was aimed at Masser, but it was also casting a shadow over the magnificent Whitney Houston. Here was this incredible young artist, and her defining anthem embroiled in a legal dispute she had no part in creating. Now, this speaks volumes about Lightfoot's character. He said it wasn't about money, it was just about principle, his art, and his legacy. And he made it clear he didn't want to destroy anyone's career, especially young Whitney. So what would happen next? Well, Lightfoot offered to drop the case if Masser told the truth and set the record straight, plus gave a public apology. And of course, that would come with an unrevealed amount of compensation. And you guessed it, all that happened. No trial, no jury, just a handshake, and I'm sorry, and a very awkward silence in the music industry. But crucially, none of that ever got Lightfoot's name added to the official writing credits of The Greatest Love of All. The official outcome was questionable on paper, but glaringly clear to anyone with an ear for music. I know, at least for me. Gordon Lightfoot, the quiet titan of folk-type music, chose to prioritize the peace of mind of a younger artist over a protracted, messy public battle. Even while firmly believing in his claim, he secured his private justice while letting the public continue to embrace The Greatest Love of All as Whitney's anthem. Gordon would continue performing, and his last 2 years of touring, he shortened the shows and remained seated because of his health decline. And then his final concert will be on October 30th, 2022 in Winnipeg. And unfortunately, Gordon Lightfoot would die of natural causes in Toronto on May 1st, 2023. He was 84 years old. But his song will live on forever because there will always be a heart out there that can relate to it. Yeah, this story reminds me that beneath the glitz and glamour of hit songs, there are human stories, battles for recognition, and sometimes quiet sacrifices. Yeah, man, a lot of time has passed by, man. Gordon Lightfoot. He's got another song. I think that song, Sundown, another hit that he had. I don't know a whole lot about him. I only know like 2 or 3 of his songs and whatnot. But he's got that kind of voice, man, that baritone voice, sings real well, lovely music that goes along with it and stuff like that. But that's it, man. You can say what you want, but I can see what the argument was about. And it looks like he came out on top. He had to settle out of court. I'm sure he got enough to make him keep his mouth closed But I'm glad he did, because now we had a chance to listen to George Benson in peace, along with Whitney Houston, to a great song, The Greatest Love of All. Hey, I hope you appreciate that, guys, and I'll see you next time on the Music Mindset channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing stuff like this, and give me some comments and tell me what you'd like to see. And I'm going to see you guys next time. Thanks.